Okay, everyone, this is Bellagio. I hope you guys are doing well. It's been about 2 weeks that I last uploaded my video. Again, I got too busy with work and things happening in life, Anyway, in this video, we are going to talk about team preparation for Kizuna event that's coming up in 3 days. So, let's jump into it. So, in this Kizuna event, we are going to be facing just regular bosses, Dex type and Int type. And as so you know, the banner that came out for this Kizuna is these two units, the Atlas and Lilith, and they has one requirement in their special ability and captain ability. So that requirement is that you need to build a team with at least 3 scientists. So we're gonna first take a look into the boosted lists. What are the scientists in here? So the first one here is the this guy, Caesar. So with his special ability, I will be using him in one of my team prep against the Int boss. We'll explain that later. And then this guy, also another scientist, Dr. Vegapunk Int version. Unfortunately, he's not going to be a unit that I'm using. This guy though, the Chaka, Edison, and Pitacolas, I'm going to call him Chaka and the gang. So this guy, the Chaka and the gang, will be used in one of my team. We'll explain about details later, but they're considered scientists. And then last one that considered scientists in this list is no one else but Mr. Saturn. Yes, he's a scientist. An old one. Yep. Unfortunately, I'm not using him though. Oh well, another one that I like to mention that I'll probably be using is this guy, Zoro. You don't have to use him. I mean, it's just my recommendation. I'm using him because he's boosted and he's doing something. Okay. All right. Let's dive deep into our team prep. The first one that we are going to go through first is the Dex boss, Shirahoshi and Mansherry, and I summarize everything in this table. So the red section here is basically just put them down, the special ability and also the captain gimmick prevention on Atlas. As you can see, there's requirement of 3 scientists or more. 3 scientists or more, 3 scientists. So yeah, 3 scientists right here. So it's best to build a team with 3 scientists. So keep that in mind. And then on this green section here, I put down informations on the preemptive gimmicks that's going to be given to us. Stage 2, stage 3, and so on. And then in this white section here there are 4 teams. Well, I wouldn't say it's a team yet, it's just recommendation. There are 4 scenarios. Yeah, 4 scenarios. First scenarios is full batch scenarios. Second one is if you pulled at last legend, but you don't have Lilith. And in the third one, vice versa, you got Lilith, but you don't have Atlas. And the last one is non-full batch, meaning you don't have anyone. You don't pull. You didn't pull. Or you did some pull, but you didn't get anyone. Yeah. You know the idea. Alright, let's go through the first one, the full batch. So if whoever got full batch, consider yourself very lucky. It's going to be very easy for you. Stage 2, you're going to have 2 turns of chain multiplication max at 1.1. I'm not sure if I want to try to do anything about it. Maybe you can try launching one of your Atlas special and choose the boost chain multiplication by 2.0. Maybe that will increase your, I don't know if it's going to go over since it's already said that max has to be 1.1. At this point, I think we have to try on the real game when it drops. But anyway, in my opinion, I think we don't have to do anything here. We should have enough sufficient damage to deal on second stage. So what you have to do on second stage, you have to launch Lilith special. So this Lilith, the strength one, launch Lilith special, you will put defense equal to 0. It goes through immunity. Boss on second stage, they will have defense down immunity. So keep that in mind. You cannot use. You have to have 3 scientists. That's the reason. Okay. So for full batch, you don't have to worry because yourself, at last captain, friend captain at last, and then Lilith. That's considered 3 scientists already. And you, beside defense equal to 0, you will also have the full board of bomb slot. There you go, Lilith special. Just 1 Lilith special on second stage, and then you hit. You should be able to pass it easily. So that will be what you have to do for scenario 1 full batch and scenario 3 if you pull Lilith. Okay, that's what you have to do. And in case of scenario 2 where you don't, or scenario 4 where you don't have Lilith, what can you do? So you have to find some units that can replace Lilith. In this case, I chose Zoro versus because his special removes 7 turns of defense up. And then another unit that I choose, you can choose Uso Lilith or you can choose this quick Lilith. I put them here because they are scientists. Just more choices for you to make sure that you fulfill that 3 units of scientists in your team. But if you already fulfill that 3 units, you don't have to use this list. I mean, this recommendation units. You can pick any other Cerebral's unit that can do the same thing here. Anyway, I chose Uso Lilith, and then I can swap them to give the bomb slot, and then launch its special. Because once you launch Uso Lilith's special, the support of Peros will be activated, which give us a lock orbs so that you can have bomb slot to use on stage 3. We'll explain about that later. But you need bomb slot on stage 3 to get back. Let's do it now. Bomb slot on stage 3. There's a barrier that requires you to have bomb slot tap with bomb slot 2 times. So if you have bomb slot continue to stage 3, at least 2 of them, there you go, it's good. So with Uso Lilith on this position, you will have 3 bomb slots. Actually, with special, maybe you have full board of bomb slot. I don't know. Let's double check. Super switch. Change character slots and adjacent slot to bomb. So only him. So you get 4 characters. 4 bomb slots. Yeah. Carry on to stage 3, and that should be good for get rid of this slot barriers. If you don't have Uso Lilith, I hope you have this Lilith. You can replace with this Lilith. This Lilith special will grant you the bomb slot on the top row and the middle row, and then the bottom row you will have tandem. But anyway, all you need is just 2 bomb slot on stage 3. And again, another crucial element is this Peros support. He can be put on any Cerebral unit, so put him on anyone that you're gonna use special on stage 2. So in this case, I'm gonna launch Uso Lilith special on stage 2. Yep, Uso Lilith will be boosted because they are considered Cerebral, and that switch effect will be max on since the beginning. So if you switch here on stage 2, you won't be able to switch on stage 3. That's why we have to launch the special right away in order to activate this Peros support. So then we have op slot, not ops, we have the bomb slot for stage 3. Okay, and that would be the same for this second scenario and the 4th scenarios to deal with second stage. Move on to 3rd stage here. First gimmick is that you have special bind on top row and middle row by 6 turns. If you have at last here as your captain and your friend captain, at last they don't care about spatial bind because you can activate their super type, and it requires 2 scientists. So if you already built a team with 3 scientists, this should be able to activate it on the crew, including self, not including self. Yeah. And then yeah, that's what he did. Reduce spatial bind 1 on herself 10 turns. Right. So if you have captain as Atlas and friend captain as Atlas, you don't have to really worry about this too much. You will already be activated. I mean, in this case, scenario 2, you already activated spatial of Soto. I already activated spatial of Usopp, so you don't really need to get rid of spatial bind anymore. In this case, right? However, if you want to bring someone to get rid of spatial binds, actually, yeah, you kind of want to have, in 4th case, you're not going to have yourself, your captain as Atlas. You want to bring in this kid Vegapunk. I'll explain that later. Okay. So, yeah, bring in Vegapunk baby will be able to get rid of spatial bind for your captain, so that your captain can launch launch spatial. All right. Vegapunk here, I gave you 2 choices. The kid one is can do more things, can get rid of spatial binds. However, if you have Atlas, for example, if your team you can build full batch or scenario 2 here, then you don't really need a kid. You don't really need to have kid Dr. Vegapunk. You can use the older one version. That will be able. He will remove the same thing, which is the 5 turns of attack down, and he give you more damage output pretty much. The kid probably will not have the same damage output as the older version. Yeah. So, yeah, come back to this first scenario. You use special type, super type of Atlas, and then that get rid of spatial bind. If you don't have it, you can use Vegapunk baby version to get rid of spatial bind. Then thresholds. If you activate Atlas spatial, you can get rid of 10 turns. So this for scenario 1 and 2, it can be either any Atlas, your captain or your friend's captain. But if it's scenario 3 and 4, where you don't have your own captain as Atlas, you need to have friend captain as Atlas to get rid of 10 turns of threshold. And more on that later, okay? And then and then attack down, as I already mentioned. These both Vegapunks can remove attack downs. But if you don't have them both, you can choose to find any other cerebral unit that can remove attack down. Okay? And then 9 turns of despair. I said Chaka spatial here. I put this Chaka here because he can remove 6 turns of despair, and he's a scientist. Again, it's just recommendation. He can be replaced by any other cerebral unit that can do the same thing, 6 turn despair removal. Okay. The next 2 gimmicks here are what I think is kind of tricky, because 5 turn of multiplication growth rate of 0.1. If you activated at last special and choose boost chain multiplication by 2.0, then you don't have to worry about this. And you also don't have to worry about this one. And you also don't have to worry about interruption, because at last special will not trigger interruption. This is the first time I've seen something like this. Right, so I think that is why I think it is so unique. That's why I think that this unit could be seen playing in the future more, because of this special, because of this not triggering the interruption thing. She is the only one for now. Anyway, yeah. So with all of those special activated, you just hit So scenario 1, you clear stage 3. Scenario 2, also you clear stage 3 the same way. Scenario 3 and 4, where you don't have Atlas as your captain, you have to activate friend captain Atlas. This is the reason why I said it's almost like a must. The easy pathway to get through Dec's boss is you need to have friend captain Atlas. Yeah. So everything else pretty much the same. As I said, your captain could be anything that is cerebral lead captain. The high boost, for example, Yamato Oiran here, she has high boost for captain cerebral. Yeah, that's why. I mean, beside that, you don't have to use her. You can use other cerebral captain. Yeah, but you want to bring Vegapunk Baby to make sure that you can launch captain special. Okay, that being said, that's all for Dec's team. Your team might not look the same as mine. My team here it will fall into category scenarios too, which I pull only at Last Legend. And yeah, I will bring the older version. I will bring this, and yeah, many teams will have different units, and you don't have to like make the same way as I made here. It's just recommendation again. Might not work the best. We have to really try it on the real game later on in 3 days. Alright, that being said, we're done now with Dec's boss. Move on to the next one, the Int boss. Okay. Int boss is also tricky. It says that the first stage said that you should be bringing strength in and side type because they're gonna get special charge time reduction by 15 turns. So yeah, we cannot we have to focus strength, int, and side type. But as you can see, I also added Caesar in here because he is boosted in the boosted list, and therefore his special will be able to launch. He will get 15 turns of special reduction. And again, you will see Soto and Lucci, and I will use Soto in my team. So let's start. Stage 2, you have Nami. You have to fight Nami. She will have 1 turn of nullification, and you can get rid of that nullification by tapping on Atlas, and she must have bomb slot. So if you have a full batch, you will start with full board of bomb slot because of Lilith's sailor special sailor ability. Yeah, combined with Atlas captain ability, you get a full board of bomb slot starting from the first stage. Keep in mind, do not tap on Atlas on first stage. You want to keep the bomb slot on Atlas to use on second stage. Okay, so tap with Atlas first when you hit. Alright, then let's what if you don't have Lilith? You don't have this Lilith. You can replace her with Usolith, as I mentioned. However, there's one problem here because this Usolith, if you launch their special, there's a kind of like a must because we have to launch Usolith special. Sorry, this is incorrect. Has to be Usolith, Usopp, and Lilith. And you have to put Usopp as your starter character. And then you find Peros again. This guy. So that you can block a slot. Alright, so the thing is you need to have bomb slot on your Atlas for 2 turns. Stage 1 and stage 2 for the same purpose, to cancel that nullification. Oh wait. Actually, you know what? Because of Usolith, special can remove nullification by 3 turns. maybe you don't have to. This can be changed here. Sorry, I just thought of something up. I wrote down as you need to activate Lilith special in order to keep op slot, bomb slot for 2 turns. But actually, if you launch special of Lilith on stage 3, that's also cancel 2 turns of notification. Okay, so scrap everything. Let's say for scenario 2 where you have only Atlas, you can do switching. Just switch the Lilith and then you get bomb slot on your Atlas, and then you hit with Atlas first. That will cancel the notification. You don't have to launch the special of Lilith. Keep it for the next turn. Why? I'll explain that later. It gives better damage on stage 3. And then that's what you have to do. So this scenario 1 and scenario 3 will be the same. Scenario 2 and 4 will be the same. Use Lilith, switch, and then move on to this one. 6 turn of thresholds. There are 2 ways to get away on 6 turn of thresholds. However, if you are category scenario 3 and 4, there's just 1 way. So 2 ways, what are they? First is you can use one of the Atlas special. Atlas special will give you Rainbow Shield 90%. However, if you don't have that, you can launch Zoro special, and it is a must that you need to have this Bartholomew as your support, because he will reduce damage exceeding 5,000 by a lot. So yeah, there are 2 ways to get to work around this. 6 turns of threshold and the death damage. I should include death damage in here. Yeah. So, however, if you are scenario 3 and 4, which means you don't have Atlas as your captain, you didn't pull them, then it's best to have Zoro and launch the ability so that you activate the support special of Bartholomew. What is his name? Not Bartholomew. Bartholomew. Yeah, that's correct. Okay. And then we don't care about recovery binds. We don't care about bottom row stun. The stun will be cancelled after we receive the death damage. We don't care about delay. However, if you activated Lilith special, then it will activate. It will trigger the interruption, and then it will remove all the beneficial. So make sure that if you want to use Lilith, use it before you do everything else. Okay, use it before launching Zoro ability. But I want to change my instruction, so we don't have to launch Lilith special anymore, because we can keep it and launch in the next stage, because his special removed the nullification. Alright, so that being said, second stage is done for all scenarios. Now move on to third stage. Third stage here, for scenario 1, you need a bomb slot, and you will get bomb slot when you activate Lilith special. Activating Lilith special, you get full board of bomb slot, so you don't have to worry about 2 turns of nullification. You hit with Atlas first, then Lilith special will put defense equal to 0, right? So you get rid of that. On top of that, she also put remove 6 turns of burns. Okay. Then I said we can put Caesar. We can activate Caesar special here. Caesar special will remove 10 turns of burns. That's why I have Caesar as one of my key units here for all scenarios. If you don't have Caesars, then what can you do? There are other cerebral characters that can remove burns, but of course it has to be combined with some supports. So in that case, you might have to look for for other team that would work. Right. So but yeah, anyway, Caesar here, removing burn is not the only purpose. The other purpose of using Caesar is to somehow get around this 6 turn of resilience, because Caesar will inflict ignite to the boss, and that, wait, hold on, let me double check if it's going through immunity. Ignore immunity to all status, yeah. Yep, so it will go through immunity, and that's why I love Caesar on this one. So he will put ignite status to the boss on stage 3, ignoring immunity. Therefore, you don't have to worry about 6 turns of resilience. But if you don't have Caesar, then we have to find another cerebral unit or any other units that can remove 6 turns of resilience, or perhaps do the same thing, putting ignite, ignoring immunity. Okay, or poison, ignoring immunity. Okay, so that would be Caesar taking care of these 2 gimmicks. And then the last one, this one here, they talk about orbs manipulation. So they will change all of our slots except Rainbow Wano slots to Dex. If you have at last as your captain or friend captain, Dex will be converted to bomb, which is at the end is a matching slot for you. Yeah, so this you don't have to worry or do anything if you have friend captain as at last. So that's why I said you don't have to worry. Captain ability will convert Dex slot to bomb. Then Intimidate. Okay, this is something that you need to keep in mind. So when you activate at last special, do not pick, I mean you can, but it's gonna be cancelled off by the intimidation. So you don't want to pick this one, boost attack based on Rainbow Shield. Yeah, so if you pick that one, it will be removed because of this intimidation. So don't pick this one. Yeah, my instruction here is somewhat incorrect. I should say do not pick boost attack based on Rainbow Shield. Alright, then last thing is interruption of attack and slot boost. So if you bring any other captains, like right here, make sure that they don't give you attack or slot boost. Otherwise, you cannot activate the special. You have to deal with this, and that's nasty. You don't want that. So don't bring any captains that has attack or slot boosts. However, if you have friend captain or at last captain, you can activate it because it will not trigger. Alright, that being said, this should be done for how to deal with in boss. My team will look like this. Did I miss something? Oh yeah, I did miss something about this Chaka and the gang. Yeah, so in case if you don't have the Lilith rare recruit, there are 2 choices. The easiest choices. First is you can use this special of Crocodile and Robin. They remove 10 turns of defense up. Okay, and then Chaka, they do the same thing as Lilith. They put defense to 0, going through immunity. Yeah. So these 2 are the easiest choice. If you don't have don't have none of them, you will have to find any Cerebrals unit that can remove defense, maybe 7 turns, and then you combine that with some supports unit. But still, not as good at these 2 units. That's why I put it down here. If you have Mr. Zero, Crocodiles and Robin, or this Chaka and the gang, put them there and launch that special to get to get around on the 10 turns of defense up. Alright, so that being said, this will conclude the team preparation for both bosses. If you guys have any comment or questions, you can leave me a comment. I will answer as fast as I can. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please hit that like, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.